Are you awake yet? Clouds and chaos.
This week, we're talking about the lie of rest and how we're trying to find the real thing.
You know what's worse than being tired? Trying to get sleep, and then you're still waking up exhausted.
I napped for an hour and woke up mad at capitalism. That's where we're at now.
Hey guys, welcome back to our podcast. We're so glad that you're tuning in again. So sorry for missing last week. I think we just both got so wrapped up in all of the hours that we were doing, literally staying at our work with our kids, just trying to get through the motions of picking up the extra hours to pay the bills. So while this is super important to both of us, sometimes the chaos interrupts the clouds of what we're trying to do. So appreciate you guys coming back for another week with us.
Yeah, dope. We definitely appreciate all you tagging along as we talk through this stuff. Let me hit you with the first question that I have here. Do you think we ever really unplug, or are we just basically switching screens?
I don't know. I guess like going through the motions or like switching screens, but I think in the time and age that we're at, all of the different avenues of technology and distractions and whatnot. So like I think you view it more as like switching screens, but I view it more as like switching roles.
That makes
like
sense.
Different hats, you know?
I mean, it's the same concept basically.
No,
Screens, roles.
For sure. Just the everyday of, I always tell people every day is a Monday. And they're like, what do you mean? I was like, well, I'm a mom of 4, PTO president, like full-time employee and everything. I'm always switching a different role or a different hat. Like clocking off one thing to clock on to another thing. And that's a constant everyday thing. I even try to schedule a rot day. And that, to be fair, gets interrupted today for some cool mom points and totally worth it. But even when I try to schedule that downtime, that even gets interrupted.
Do you think that the version of rest, that spa day version of rest, is really what we actually need? Or do you see rest as something different?
I want a spa day. A spa day sounds so nice right now, like a relaxing day of like massages and facials and getting your nails done and stuff. Like I view that as rest for me because it's a time where like my needs are being taken care of. Like I'm not being needed by anybody else. I'm taking care of like what feels good for me instead of taking care of what feels good for other people so I can feel good on the back end of things. But I get what you're saying. Like sometimes, yeah, that culture of spa day rest isn't the type of rest we actually need, where we need to unplug from our devices and take off our shoes and get grounded back to the earth. I think rest comes in a multitude of different ways. I guess it just really depends on the type of tired that you are.
Yeah, I feel like the burnout that everybody's feeling, or at least that we're feeling, or at least I'm feeling, I feel like that's being commodified in a way where you have all these different things that you can buy to feel better, to feel rested. And I think that's where I'm getting at with that whole spa day version of rest. Is that's what, you know, social media will have you think rest is, but it doesn't have to be that. It can be something much more simple that doesn't cost anything. Taking off your shoes and grounding to the earth, right? That doesn't cost anything, but it could be one of the best things you can do to actually feel truly rested and recharged.
For sure. But like, think about people in those bigger cities that don't have the access to beautiful landscape like we do to be able to do that. How are you going to ground yourself in the middle of New York City with Master Splinter running all through to feed the turtles in the sewers? Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's just no point in place for some people to do that. So their version of rest might look different because you have to adapt that to your surroundings.
Yeah. I think all I'm saying is that rest isn't always merch or candles or planner culture. You got to find the thing that works for you, but it's not that. It's not what they want you to think that it is.
Yeah. And sometimes I think rest will come through, or what are low stimulating hobbies for you. Baking that loaf of bread because you learned how to make a starter, or tending to your garden, or wrapping yourself up in a good book, or taking a walk outside, like listening to a podcast. Sometimes rest isn't just
Like
laying
this
down
podcast.
and vegging out. Sometimes it's being up and moving, doing something that feeds your soul in a different way.
Yeah. Why do you think doing nothing feels like failure now?
We're on a time crunch, on a ticking clock of, if you don't do this now, if you don't seize that opportunity now, someone else is going to seize it and take it away from you. We're always on our toes waiting for the next, especially I feel like as elder millennials, we feel that our entire existence since Y2K has been the next big thing that's about to happen, whether it's good or bad. So we're always on our toes, and if we take any time off, then we might miss either a great opportunity or might get like stuck in a bad opportunity.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I feel like it's a constant, we're not recharging, we're just rebooting a system we're not allowed to shut down ever.
I think that's what I'm trying to say, like, too, as well. We're always on the go. It's never like a full restart. It's a never full shut down and getting the updates, right? It's always just like putting it to sleep. And when you put it to sleep and you shake it back awake, it's still in the same state, versus when you can get a complete shutdown and restart, giving your body that time to update your, endorphins and dopamine and all that kind of stuff. Is where that kind of comes into play.
So, burnout isn't always solved by sleeping necessarily, especially when it comes to trauma, ADHD, caregiving, caring for other people like you do a lot. What's your body's first signal that you're not actually resting?
That's actually a really tough question, like, to not have a pre-answer for. I guess there's like several different signs, but I guess when I can really feel that I am not getting rest is when those mundane things that shouldn't make me so overstimulated immediately overstimulate me. There's no chance of self-regulation because it's an immediate like an immediate switch, and I'm already reactive. What about you?
Yeah, I feel like I get pretty snappy. I think that brings up a really good point, though, of in order to know those things, you really have to like keep track of it, That's why I'm such a big fan of journaling. I think journaling is one of the best things that you can do. Very low cost, low energy thing that you can do to take control of the parts of your life that you can control. Just being able to journal and write things down.
Yeah, for sure. I'm glad that works for you. I don't think like journaling for me isn't the answer for me. I don't have time to sit down and put it all out into a journal.
I think that's a trap that everybody falls into, though. You do have time if you make the time. But you have to be
Well, I mean, like-
dedicated to spend let's say 5 minutes. It doesn't take a long time. You don't have to sit there for a long time. Sit there for 5 minutes and write down whatever it is that you want to write down.
Yeah.
Do you think our nervous systems even know how to calm down anymore?
No.
With everything just in our face 24/7.
Not at all.
Yeah, I feel like social media is constantly pushing. That's the first thing that a lot of people will reach for as soon as they wake up. You reach for your phone. And then what's the first app that you're going to push on? Right?
Mine's Facebook.
It's either Facebook, TikTok, whatever. One of the many social media apps that take too much of our time already.
I only use 2, TikTok and Facebook.
Hey, I have quite a few, but I find myself doing that and I have to catch myself. I could be going on my phone. This is probably a nice gift of ADHD, but I could be going on my phone. I forget like partway through of what I was going to do on my phone. And then instead of going to what I was going to do, I immediately go to one of my social media apps.
I have to do the scroll back. I like be scrolling and then like, oh, I'm gonna do something, or oh, that piques my interest, and if I keep scrolling, then I forget and have to like literally scroll back and like kind of like blockbuster rewind to figure out like what I'm gonna like what I was gonna do next, or like what the real reason was I was gonna go into my phone.
I think that's also why I'm such a big fan of journaling, is because it's not. There's just something about writing with a pen and paper. You know, it feels almost like grounding in a way, but I'm grounding myself to my brain, if that makes sense.
No, that's probably why I don't like journaling. I don't want to be grounded to my brain. I'd rather be grounded.
I think it just helps me slow down. Helps me slow down my brain so I can think through what my brain is trying to process at 1,000,000 miles a minute, you know?
Yeah.
Has there ever been a moment for you where you felt like your whole body just exhaled?
No.
You never calm down?
No, I feel like every time I try to exhale, I immediately have to inhale because something else happens.
Last time I really truly felt like that was probably the last backpacking trip I took. And it was after the climb up. Like we initially, so I want to say there was 2 false peaks. So we got to the first one and it's like, I know that it's fake. So I know that there's one after it. So I'm not really pushing as hard. And then you get to the second one. It's like, okay, this next one is going to be amazing. And as soon as you get to the top, that exhale that you have is just, finally I made it. I can sit down and relax after working so hard. So I guess it's probably like a runner's high, you know?
Yeah.
Like after exercise, probably a similar way that you feel after Zumba, maybe.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So I guess, yeah, the last time I felt that exhale would have been my birthday. And I really put my all into Zumba, knowing it'd be the last time until after I truly healed with my knee and my hip. But since then, I haven't been able to feel that sense of relief.
Do you feel like you have this like hypervigilance mode where even when you're sitting still, you can feel super tense? You're always on edge?
24/7.
Pretty tough.
Always on the edge. Don't push me, cause I'm close to the edge. I want to eat this pork belly mac and cheese and go to bed.
It's always a song. Always a song and dance. When was the last time you felt safe enough to rest?
Next question.
Just want to let that sit with the listeners for a little bit. Why don't we cut to the next totally real sponsor that we have?
It's totally real.
And then we'll come back after that. Cool?
I'll be black. You stay right there.
Hey bestie, are you emotionally collapsed but still expected to smile through it? Same! Treat Your Burnout is the deluxe spa bundle that includes a $42 candle, a wine stain planner, and a bath bomb shaped like your unresolved trauma. Because you can't scream into the void if your throat is sore. Self-care is essential, as long as it's aesthetically pleasing.
All right, welcome back from that totally real sponsor. Appreciate y'all staying with us. Before the break, we asked you, when was the last time you felt safe enough to rest? Feel free to share how you're feeling about that in the comments.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. So, obviously, rest looks different for everyone, right? For me, I really feel that creative type rest, right? Where I'm just deep into coding or into music. Just, I guess the best way I can explain it is like that flow state, right? When you get into the flow of something and you can just forget about everything else all around. What about you?
I don't know. I like the solitude for sure. Space, feeling unneeded for a while. Like that permission to actually have a rot day. I can't tell you literally how many rot days I've been wanting. And I might like, and I'm talking like a 24-hour, I don't have to get up to answer anybody's questions, stop any fights, make anybody any food, run any errands, last minute things, like a full time where it's just me, my schedule, what I want to do.
Do you think we've ever, have I ever given you what you needed in that way? Or do you think that's something that we're still figuring out?
Yeah, my solo trips.
True. I didn't think about it that way. Solo trips can definitely be very restful for you. That makes sense.
Like, how am I supposed to cook you macaroni and cheese when I'm 3 states away? Go bother your father.
That is true.
I mean, I still get the calls and the messages and stuff, but when I'm removed from the situation, removed from it all, it's much easier to get that rest. Resting at home is not rest.
Yeah,
I get asked for like a snack 24/7.
Yeah, I like being home. I'm a homebody, so I enjoy being here.
You're definitely a homebody.
All my technology is. And
literally, sir. You're literally ganging up on me about wanting to go do a solo trip, and you're like, "What do you want me?" And I'm like, all you want to do is sit in your corner in your little solitude. That's your thing, and the flow of your data, and that's restful for you. But being home is not. I can't rest at home.
Mom, can I have a snack?
It checks out. I understand. The way you move makes sense.
I like the way.
I think for us, at least for me, these conversations especially, I think are super opening or eye-opening for me to piece together things that I don't always figure out in the moment about our relationship and just how we work. And I think at least for me, I'm finally starting to really believe that our rest styles are valid no matter what they are. Your rest style is valid. I think that you believe that my rest style is valid, right?
Yeah.
Even if they're, polar opposites, right?
Frustrating at times for each other.
Can be, yeah.
You get frustrated that I want to escape. I get frustrated that you just want to sit over there.
Yeah, I think the big thing is just making sure to challenge the myths that are out there with rest. You don't have to earn rest. Like, it shouldn't be something that you have to earn. And you don't need to explain why you're tired. Although I do feel like I ask you that a lot.
Oh my God, everybody asks me why I'm tired. They literally will look at me and they'll be like, "Oh, you look tired." Or they'll be like, "How are you doing today?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm tired." They're like, "Oh, what do you have to be tired for? You're so young." I'm Like, I have 4 children, a husband, a full-time job, like a love of caregiving and doing for others that makes me feel like I'm not doing enough. Like, I'm literally constantly going and doing. And while I may be strong and fierce and can handle a lot of this stuff, doesn't mean like I'm gonna be 40 soon. Like, I'm tired. I've earned being tired without explanation, for sure. Like, don't ask me why I'm tired. Like, you literally see me doing all of these things, so don't. And not to say that I'm the only one doing these things, for sure. Like, as a society, all of us, we're all doing so many things that makes us so tired. But I like when someone tells me, or I ask them how they're doing, and they're like, "Oh, I'm tired." My like first thought is like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I hope you can get rest soon." Not like, "Why are you tired?" It's not a competition. Being exhausted is not a competition.
Definitely not a competition I want to win.
If it was a competition, I would win it.
I saw this meme the other day where we're at the age now where we're both feeling the "I'm too tired, Grandpa," and
Oh, that's too damn bad.
Feel both of it at the same time.
Keep on digging. That's such a hard like place to be in.
Yeah,
for sure. It's like,
So-
you're like literally digging, like you're literally doing the digging. You're literally saying, "I'm tired of this, Grandpa," and you're literally saying to yourself, "Well, that's too damn bad. Keep on digging."
Legit. That's how it goes. So what are we doing now, or at least what are you doing right now to try to relearn that? Like, what are the things that you're trying to do in your life, in our life, to rewire the way that your brain thinks about rest?
Man, you're coming up with all these questions that like, what do you mean, bruh?
I think it's important.
I'm not rewiring anything right now. Like, it's summer, it's busy season at work. I admittedly am not doing much right now to rewire or do anything. I'm literally just trying to survive day to day.
Well, here's some real talk examples that I thought of. And they don't always work all the time, right? But these are just a few examples of things that you can have in your little toolkit, right? Scheduling nothing hours. If you have the ability to schedule nothing hours, and maybe hours plural is the wrong word. Maybe it's an hour, maybe it's 15 minutes, but scheduling that time out to have nothing to do. Or saying no without guilt. Like, a lot of times you want to say yes to everything and you just can't. Like, you have to be able to say no to things and not feel guilty about doing it. Because that's not going to give you rest either if you're just going to be guilty about saying no about something. The other thing I thought of was letting rest be imperfect. I think we're looking so much for that perfect rest moment where you're going to just charge up to 100% and be totally good to go. And I just don't feel like that's how rest works. Like, you get it where you can get it, especially as an adult, especially with kids. Like, you just get the rest where you can get it. And maybe you get,
I'm going to play this
5%.
back for you. You keep
10%.
talking. Keep talking.
I will keep
saying
talking.
this stuff, and I'm going to take this.
Tell me about myself.
I am going to tell you about yourself. I will continue to tell you about yourself.
What about this one? Giving each other permission to fall apart.
Ugh,
Snap.
take it back.
Nah. So, what have you, if anything, what have you unlearned about rest this year?
I don't know. I guess just with having the knee surgery and stuff, then how slow the healing and the pace is coming back to being able to do Zumba and go and do this and not be in so much pain is just learning my limits, I guess. And my limits are different than they were 15 years ago.
Old age is getting to us.
Okay.
Hey, it happens.
I mean, obviously it happens. I mean, what have you unlearned about rest? Because, I mean, you're sitting here talking to me about this and to say that, like, resting isn't all about like getting a whole bunch of rest and getting back up to 100%. And that's all fine and dandy, and I agree with that. I just want you to hear that for yourself, though, too, as well.
Honestly, I feel like I do get, because of the support system around me, especially you, mostly you, I feel like I get enough rest, quote unquote. Maybe not enough sleep per se, because that's the issue that I have right now is the sleep. Sleep and rest are two totally different things in my opinion. The thing that I've had to like unlearn is, or I guess learn through process of trial and error, is just how many projects I can do versus how much time I actually have to do them. And then turning the things that are about real life and living, kids, you know, you making sure our relationship is good, turning that into a project too, because I can't focus on all of these different work projects and then neglect the quote unquote projects that actually do matter in life. Making sure that I'm taking care of those projects first, and making sure that those are a consistent part of my, you know, quote unquote projects that I'm working on. I just think that's a way that my brain can register in a way that makes sense for me, where I'm prioritizing it in the right way. What's one way you're trying to protect your energy lately?
I don't even know, bro. Like, I don't even want to like promise people and say I'm doing all of these magical things to protect my energy. And I guess I just try to protect my energy mostly like in the moment. I guess not being so like reactive to things that are happening, or just trying to go with the flow and not pushing myself for recognition or being seen. Just not pushing for that anymore. Like, if you're gonna see it, you're gonna see it. If you don't, then you don't. But stop giving. I guess I've stopped giving 186%, and I'm only giving you 126% now.
126%?
Okay, you know I still do too much and still go too hard.
Yeah, that's true.
That's literally like an ingrained part of me.
Yeah.
I literally tried to do a salsa competition the day after surgery and almost succeeded.
Fair. Do you think we're finally okay with not being productive every damn minute?
No. I guess no, not for either one of us.
I feel like I'm trying to understand that. I think it's a different way of viewing things, because I'm switching that concept of projects into turning, you know, hanging out with the kids and having these conversations with you into a project. Turning all those things into some kind of a project for people, so.
Yeah.
I think the big thing is you just don't fix burnout with a weekend.
I'm gonna be burnt out for the rest of my life. I feel like I'm so far on the spectrum of like where the comeback return of being burnt out is just so far right now. I mean, our girls are about to be teenagers. And there'll be a point where we have 4 teenagers. And the level of momming that I'm doing right now with them is only going to intensify. The emotional aspect of it all is going to increase tenfold. And my goal and mission in my life is to be the best mom that I can be for them, and to give them the tools and the example, like the tools for them to make it in the real world.
Yeah.
And that's just, I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
Too damn bad. No, honestly though, I think it's a very important thing to focus on. Is you don't have to be burnt out the rest of your life. I think that's a big reason why I started writing this new book that I've been working on for a little bit now. It's called Hack the Simulation, and it's basically about how to break out of these like invisible loops that we're all stuck in, right? It's not just burnout. It's like this bigger machine that just keeps running on autopilot. It's kind of like, I guess it's kind of like my own rebellion in book form. Basically, it's kind of like, I would call it self-help, but with like, if the Matrix and therapy had a baby. That's what I would say. Hopefully, though, I'll have it done by the end of this month if I keep on working on it. We'll see.
Yeah, I guess you just fix it by changing what you believe you have to survive.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you have these things hardwired from your whole life, right? Like you saw certain things being done certain ways and you can't help but pick that up. And then it becomes part of you. But I think that's what we forget, is that those things can be rewired the way that you want them to be rewired. Rest isn't the reward, it's a rebellion.
For sure.
Let's wind it down now, right? That way you can get to your food and your rest.
Appreciate that.
This world profits off your exhaustion.
Choosing rest isn't lazy, it's resistance.
When was the last time you let yourself rest without guilt?
What would it mean if rest wasn't something you had to deserve?
Next time, we talk about what happens when the mental load breaks you down. Episode 5, The Fog is Real.
If this hit something real for you, drop a like, share it with someone who's carrying too much, and hit subscribe so you don't miss out on the next one.